Okay, so we've come to the second problem. And here I'm only going to show you how to CAD this piece. I'm presuming that you can CAD this piece on your own. And I've got other videos that show you how to do assemblies. So let's work through this piece real fast. When I look through the instructions, I can see that it's telling me what it specifically wants on the drawing file. It wants, those balloons, bill of material. You don't need to dimension the parts. All units are in inches. Okay. But I don't have anything weird, no parametric equations they need to do. So I'm kind of free to tackle this part how I see fit. And what I'm thinking, you could come at this a couple different ways. I'm thinking that I'll do it from this right view and then create multiple extrusions. I'll show you when we get there. In this piece, you don't, so the instructions don't say that you have to use the rib tool. So there is a way you could do it without the rib tool. The rib tool's awfully handy. So that's how I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so new part and starting with the right face. Use my rectangle tool. And then going back to my arc. And I just want it to be tangent to both these lines. I can see from my center mark here that this is just a half circle. And then I've got another concentric circle right there. All right, so I've got my basic shape. I'm ready to start dimensioning. I put it in the right units. That's a good start. Okay. And I know it's 0.8 wide because this radius is 0.4. So double it, it's going to be 0.8 wide. Great, so I've got everything fully defined. So now I'm ready to extrude it. And it's going to take two, since I've got, two shapes that are of different widths. Okay. So let's start here. I'm just going to start with the base. And it goes 1.45 units wide. Inches in this case. Okay, so clicking on the sketch, highlighted blue, extrude off space. I'm going to select my contours, which is this. Okay, so I could do this two ways. I'm going to use an offset. So I could offset my extrusion so that it's going in the right place. And we can do that. Hold on. Even easier, I probably could have just done this with a mid-plane extrusion. So let's go ahead. Let's do that. So I'm going to delete this. Yes, I'm going to go in and edit this so it's mid-plane. Now I can select my contour here. Mid-plane, 0.8. That's a little bit faster. Next, let's tackle the rib before we get into the whole wizard. So looking at that right, so I'm going to sketch on this right plane. So sketch. I'm going to go normal to it. I'm going to start actually with my center line. So I know I've got this construction line here. You don't have to draw the construction line, but I need something to get that relation. And if I bring the line all the way up, I'm going to create this closed geometry that I don't want. Okay, so I was snapped to the right place. I did the convert entities to bring the sketch out so I could make sure that I was snapped to it, but it was. I didn't need to do that. So when I go to my, it says it's underdefined. Okay, let's get back. Oh, it's that point. It's probably because I took away that relation. Hold on. There we go. Fully defined. Now let's remove this feature. Oop, and I just selected the wrong thing. It selected all of them. Oh, okay. So now I've got the material like going the direction I want, but still you can see it's pointing the wrong direction. So put material side. And that rib width, 0.15. And there we go. Okay. So the last piece of this is the whole wizard, which, nothing. So going to my hole wizard, I'm seeing it's a counterbore hole. I'm going to make sure that I'm selected counterbore, right, like this symbol is telling you. And I know I'm anti-inch, finding head, go to size 3. I'm going to assume a normal fit. Is it through all? Yes, it's a through all hole. I don't know why it started selecting that near side countersink automatically. Uncheck that. You don't want that. All right, I'm ready to go to my position tab. I'm going to select this face and kind of position it in general in the right place. All right, so then I can go in and dimension it to the right location, which happens to be okay. So instead of smart dimensioning all of these, or yeah, essentially, I'm going to do a linear pattern here. And so since it's a 3D linear pattern, it's going to ask me to select my axes. Once it's highlighted entities to pattern, I'm going to go over and just select. Okay, so I'm still in the sketch, which is why it's acting funny. Okay, let's try this again. Linear pattern. So direction 1, direction 2. What I want to pattern is that hole. All right, there's 2 instances of each, and this is saying that they're 0.6 apart and 0.85 apart. All right, so my piece is done. The next thing I would do is create this pin, which kind of representing a bolt, and then put it together in assembly. See ya.